It's time for the first update of my video game challenge list. Are you excited? You should be. First of all, let me just say that doing this list has helped me out a ton. You know, I haven't really, impulse bought anything. This list has really helped me keep my focus, and I'm very, it's a good idea that I did it, you know, because I'd be spending money, before I was spending money left and right on random stuff that I didn't need or didn't even want. But now, now that I got this list, I can just focus on the games I've got, and just play them. Now, having said that, there are some updated rules to my list, right? Okay, so the first thing is, some games, there's some things I didn't think of. So smaller games, or games that you can't even really beat, I'll be playing stuff like that through the year, sure. So there will be games that exist outside of the list. Plus, there's games I want to play that I've already played, just playing through again, that's fine. The idea is just to beat a certain amount of games in a certain amount of time, just, to keep focused. And so far, that's working out for me. And despite the fact that I said I was not going to increase the size of my list, I increased the size of my list. Here's the thing, Christmas, I got a lot more games than I thought I would. I always felt kind of awkward, asking for anything ever, even for Christmas, so I'm just your mom always asks me for Christmas list. I usually just say, money, I guess, fine, whatever, I don't care. But, I'm not working a whole lot right now. I'm back in school, and that's more important than anything else, and nobody will hire me. But, this year, I was okay, so I'll take this, and I want this. Oh, and if you get this one, make sure it's this version. And I want the complete edition. So, yeah, I highly recommend it. I got a good haul this year. And, I beat more games than I thought I would on my list, which is why I just went ahead and just made it slightly bigger. And because this list was so helpful to me, I'll definitely be making another one. I was looking through my games, and there were a lot more than I thought I had that I haven't played through. So I'm excited to just start making my way through all these games that I've had for my entire life that I've never bothered to play through, or 10 years, or 5 years, or 3 days ago. And of course, Christmas happened, and I did get some money, so I had to buy some things, Now, I haven't added all my Christmas games to the list, but I did add some, and I added some others, and we'll get to that probably right now. So we'll start off with some games I took off of my list, either because of my new small games rule or because I hated it. So anyway, I took off Dragon Quest Builders because I was already so close to the end. I figured it shouldn't count towards the completion list. So I took it off. I still plan on beating it this year, but it'll be it doesn't count. And also Star Fox 2, because it's really short from what I understand. There's multiple endings, and yes, I still haven't played it, even though the entire reason I bought a SNES Classic was for that game. I'll get to it. Alright, so now my list is 35 games long instead of 30. So, you want to know what games I added to my list? Do you? Great. Well, here it is. First game I added, to replace Dragon Quest Builders, I wanted to have something along the same lines, sort of, or at least in the same franchise. So I've got Dragon Quest VI for the DS. When I made my list originally, I realized I didn't have any DS games on there. Despite the fact that I have plenty that I haven't played through yet. I've played 4 and 5. I actually didn't finish either. 4 I just could not get into. 5 I really, really liked, but then stopped right at the end for some reason. So the idea is to play through this game in its entirety, and then jump back to 5 and finish that off. Because you can't just jump into a game at the end. I won't know what's going on. So I want to play through this, and then I'll... Alright, so the first game I got for Christmas... actually, I don't remember which game I opened first for Christmas, but a game that I got for Christmas that I'm going to show you first, Fire Emblem Warriors. I loved Hyrule Warriors. This is like a Dynasty Warriors type game. Never played a Dynasty Warriors game in my life, but I loved Hyrule Warriors. This is like that, except Fire Emblem. And the like format of the game, the way the game works, it's perfect for portable. I played the 3DS version of Hyrule Warriors a lot more than the Wii U version, but I wish I could have had the ability to like play both, you know, because obviously the TV, having it on TV's bigger, and I've got a nice sound system, so it sounds a lot better, but just having to be able to play that type of game anywhere is great. So that's one of the reasons I'm really excited for the Switch, is because you can do that. You can play portably and on the TV, and this type of game is perfect for that. Well, I haven't played this game, but the idea of it is perfect for that. So we'll see if this is as good as Hyrule Warriors was. It better be. If you hear like pounding or drilling or screaming in the background, don't worry about that. There's some construction going on in my basement. Up next we have Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle for the Nintendo Switch. This game is... This sounds stupid and horrible and terrible, but it looks beautiful and it plays fantastically. It's the weirdest thing, and it's Ubisoft. This game is... I'm currently playing through this. It's very polished and like well done, and it's Ubisoft, and I didn't know they were capable of doing that. I've got past the first world. I'm excited to keep playing it because I like it and it's fun. It's a turn-based strategy RPG, and it's not my favorite genre. I love normal RPGs, turn-based RPGs, but when you add strategy, it's like a whole nother step that just makes it take longer. I don't know. I haven't played that many because I find them not necessarily boring, but I just haven't been able to finish them. But this one, it has a lot in it that keeps you interested, and you know, the humor's there, the charm is there, everything is there for a good game. So I'm excited to keep on keeping on with it. Alright, another Christmas game I got. Yes, yet another Christmas game. I got a lot of games for Christmas. I'm happy. Thanks. Pillars of Eternity. It's an RPG. It's like an old school RPG. I was really excited when this got announced, like however many years ago, because it was like an old school RPG, and it has like an old school, I don't know, kind of art style, I guess. Kind of like 2D-ish looking, but still, it looks like a computer RPG. I don't know how else to explain it. But it looked fantastic. Problem is I hate PC gaming. Like, I try to play the original Baldur's Gate, and I just, like, I can't. I cannot play a game where you move your character with a mouse, like where you click on him and tell him where to go. I don't know why, but I cannot do that. And so I was super excited to hear that Pillars of Eternity came out on consoles with controller support. So I'm really, really looking forward to playing this, because this is exactly the type of games I love. Where you get to create a character, maybe a party, I don't know. I try not to do too much, like research, like just enough to know if I want the game, but not too much so I spoil crap. So, like, I know you create a character, and I know, like, people spend a lot of time on that, and that's exactly what I like. So I'm looking forward to this one. And yet another Christmas game, the last one on my list, but not the last one I got, but the last one I put on my list. I wanted to save some for later, you know. But the last one, South Park, The Fractured But Whole. Not a lot to say about this game that hasn't already been said. It's South Park. It's an RPG, which the idea of that is silly. Like, you have a turn-based RPG game, and it's South Park. Like, what? But Stick of Truth, which was the first game, and this comes with it. I already played it, though. Great game. So I'm looking forward to playing the follow-up. I mean, it's South Park. I'll honestly probably, after I play through the games I'm playing now, this will probably be next. Maybe. I'm thinking about it, so... Now, one thing I didn't have on my original list were sequels to games. I don't know why. I guess I didn't want to get burned out on a series, but actually, like, playing through my list, obviously I'm going to want to play the sequels to some of these games, so I did throw in a couple sequels, and I'll get to those when I talk about the games I played through, which is right now. Alright, so the whole point of this list is the games that I played through. That's the point. The entire point of this list is these games that I played through. So let's get to those. Let's get to those games. Let's start with, what did I start with? Which one did I play first? I'll start with the game I played first. I got my pile upside down here. First game I finished, Yakuza Kiwami. I think is how you say it. I liked this game a lot. I wanted to love the game, but I only liked it a lot, if that makes sense. Like, I wanted like a 9 or a 10, and I got something a little less. It's a great game. It's a good game. It's an okay game. It's great. It's good. It's fine. I like it. It's a remake of a PS2 game, and you can tell. There's nothing wrong with PS2 games, but when it looks like a PS4 game, there's like, I don't know, like you're expecting something but getting something else. So, it's a good game, but I don't know. I'll probably get Yakuza 0, which was a prequel to the first game. It's a prequel to the whole series. But this, being a remake of the first game, it's also a sequel to 0, if that makes sense. Like, they added stuff. So I felt like I was missing out on something. I felt like I was playing the second game, and I was supposed to play a different one first. So, like, if you're interested in this series, I would say either try and get the original, which is kind of going up in price, or start with 0, because I think 0 is probably the place where they want you to start. Because, like, yeah, if you played this without playing 0, you'll be a little bit confused on some things, I think. And I'm the type of person who has to start at the beginning, so I was a little bit disappointed with that. So, but still, like, I'm glad I played it. I'll get 0 and see how that is, and if I like it better than this, then I'll keep going. If I don't like it better than this, then I might not. Alright, the next game I finished, beat Yoshi's Woolly World. Yeah, that's right, beat this monster of a game, right? Okay, it's not a difficult game, it's an easy game. It was an okay game. Hold on, I forgot something. I forgot to rate it. Forgot to rate my game. 7 out of 10. I almost forgot. I was gonna put numbers. I was gonna rate games here. 7 out of 10. Give it a 7 out of 10. Now keep in mind, I use like the whole range of numbers, right? 6 through 10 is a thumbs up. 1 through 5 is a thumbs down. So 7, it's better than thumbs up. It's like, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good game. So, okay, next game up, Yoshi's Woolly World. This game is it's okay. It's not a bad game, and I'm not gonna say it's a bad game. And if somebody asked me like, what's a good game for Wii U, I would be like, Smash Brothers. But Yoshi's Woolly World isn't bad. It just depends on what you want. What I want out of a platformer is not what this gave me. I like, finding hidden stuff and collectibles and all that, but I didn't find it that fun to find the hidden collectibles, because there were a lot of, like, I don't know. It was just okay. Yoshi's Island, it is not, and it tries to be. And I think it would have done better if it would have distanced itself a little bit more from that. But instead, it tried to be that and something else. And I think what we got was just a game that was trying to be two different things. I'm still looking forward to the one on the Switch. There's a new Yoshi game on Switch. It's not Woolly World. It's just Yoshi Cardboard or whatever they're doing. But, I'll still look forward to it. It's still a formula that can work. I just hope it's better. I give it a 6 out of 10, which is, the lowest end of, it's good. But not like, it's good. It's just like, it's good. It's fine. Up next, what do we have? Alright, now the next game we have, which is a complete coincidence, Ys Origin. Now you may be wondering, what's the coincidence? What are you talking about? Well, if you didn't notice, these 3 games were the last 3 games on my list, and they are all the games I have that start with Y that were on my list. That was not a coincidence at all. That was fate, is what that was. Maybe not fate. Maybe it's something else. I think coincidence is the word. Alright, but anyway, Ys Origin. I love this game. I love this series. I discovered the series this year for the first time. And I played through every modern version of it. There's kind of like 2 halves of this series. Like 1 through 5 is like old Ys. And then 6, which came out early 2000s on PS2 and PSP. Early 2000s? Mid 2000s? I don't know. Anyway, it was kind of a reboot, like a restart. They like revamped the game engine and all that, and everything after that has kind of followed that and evolved from it. So I've only got 1 more of those left to play, but this one was fun. It's a spin-off, so it's not like the definitive Ys game, and I'm pretty sure I'm saying that right. Ys, Y-S. It's such a weird name, but Ys is actually like a real mythical place, if that makes sense. It's Google. Anyway, but there's 3 characters, and you play as the 3 characters. You have 2 to choose from at first, and then you unlock a 3rd. Now, this, I think, this was the aspect of the game I didn't quite care for. You play through the entire game 3 times. The levels are exactly the same. It's a relatively short game. My first playthrough, I think, was like 9 some hours, and my second playthrough was 7 and some hours, and my last one was like 5. So, I kept, once you know what to do, it's not long at all. But the levels are exactly the same, but the characters are different, so your strategies are different. The things you do are different. The story is completely different, and that's actually a criticism I have, because I thought it would be 3 different sides of the same story, but instead it's 3 different stories. And the 3rd story, the one you unlock after you play the first 2, it feels like the real version, because there's like an extra final boss, that's a JRPG thing. But so the first 2 playthroughs felt completely pointless. I guess you learn a little bit more about the characters through their playthrough, but they kind of behave completely differently in the different stories, so the first 2 playthroughs are just kind of pointless, and the 3rd one, was good, actually really good. I still love these games, and I love this game, but yeah, it is a spin-off, and you have to know that. It originally came out in 2006 on the PC, then it came out... No, that was in Japan. Then it was translated for America in 2012 on the PC, and then I think early 2017 it came to PS4 digitally and Vita, and then Limited Run Games just a couple months ago released the physical version. So I finally got it, and I liked it. These Ys games are the best 8 out of 10 games I've ever played, if that makes sense. If I ranked every game I ever played, these would be at the very top of the 8 out of 10 games. So, 8 out of 10. This one, I don't want to say it's my least favorite Ys game, but it's probably in the middle. Lower middle. I'll have to think about that. But for now, we'll move on. Alright, now this is the part where I mention a sequel that I put on my list, and I forgot to grab it. Hold on. Wait a minute. Okay. Ease Memories of the game is called this, and it's being added to the list. And I don't know why I didn't put this on the list to begin with, because I had every intention of playing through it sooner rather than later, because I played through, like I said, all these other games this year. This one obviously won't make it this year, but still, I plan on playing it relatively soon. So I guess that's it for that one. And now, for the game that I threw off my list because I hated it, which may disappoint some people if people watched. Mirror's Edge. The reason I hated this game is because I loved parts of it. I wanted to like this game a lot more than I did because I really liked parts of it. The cutscenes were cool. They were like cartoon looking, not I wouldn't say anime looking, like Japanese animation. Not quite. More like, I don't know. It was really cool. It looked cool. Unfortunately, I never cared what any of the characters were saying, and I hated most of them. The main character's fine. She's, basically a blank slate, which that never bothered me. But the problem with this game is that you get shot at, like, for half the game. Half the game, you're just running from bullets. And I hate first-person shooters. I don't like getting shot. I don't find it fun. That's just who I am. I grew up playing like platformers and fighting games where you could always see what was coming your way. And with shooters, you're just like you're walking around and then boom, you're dead. And to me, that's not even a game. Like I hate that. And so this is that. It's basically a first-person shooter, except you don't have any guns yourself, which is like the worst thing ever. Yeah, you can take their guns and whatever, but I don't know. I really liked running around. I liked running around a lot, actually, and jumping and grabbing stuff. And yeah, she fell to her death and didn't grab onto ledges half the time. But when it worked, it was really, really fun. So I was actually really disappointed that I ended up hating it enough to stop playing it halfway through and throw it off the list. And it's gone. So I replaced it with... I wanted to replace it with something along the same lines, sort of. So I thought, strong female lead, some platforming aspects, a little bit of shooty going on. Does that sound like anybody to you? Exactly. Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider Underworld specifically. Lara Croft. I really liked Tomb Raider Legend. That was like the first time the series was rebooted. I never actually played the originals. That is something I would like to do at some point. Maybe I'll do like a playthrough of them. I don't know. I'll figure it out. There's only like 1 million of them, so it won't take that long. But so my first Tomb Raider game was Legend, and I loved it. It was kind of linear, kind of short, kind of a lot short, but I just love the game. And then Anniversary, which came after it, was a remake of the first game, but it also acts as a prequel to Legend, so it's like a rewritten thing, and it fits into the new timeline, which now is gone because there's another reboot. But then this game came along and killed the franchise for a second time, and then they had to reboot it again. So this is Tomb Raider Underworld. More like Tomb Raider Jank World. More like Tomb Raider Underwhelming. More like Tomb Raider, I don't know why I played this. Actually, it wasn't that bad. It's just, like I said before, with the Jank World joke, it's janky. That's all it is. It's like Tomb Raider Legend plus jank. So, I don't know. It was rushed. I think that was like... This is one of them classic get 'em out by Christmas games. I don't know why they keep doing that, because they always fail. Like I said, this killed the franchise again, so they had to reboot it again. Now, I really like the reboot, but like I hope at some point we get to the real Lara Croft, Like, I understand they want her to be, like, vulnerable and, like, flawed and, like, scared all the time for some reason. But I want, like, an adult Lara Croft who just goes off on an adventure to find some stuff and runs into some weird stuff. That's what I want out of my Tomb Raider games. And while the new Tomb Raider games are really good games, I just don't see that character as Lara Croft. But I'm still going to get the new one. I'm still looking forward to it. But I miss this Lara. I like this one. Not just because of her outfit, but just because of her personality. She's strong, she's confident, she's pew 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 pew, she's taking no crap, and she's like, wah! Alright, so the last game I finished was Pokemon Ultra Moon. You can see that. I didn't want to dig the box out of that pile back there, so you know what it is. You know what Pokemon is, come on. So the Ultra Moon is like you know what Ultra Moon is. Come on. If you don't know what Pokemon is, Google it. You can't count on me to explain everything to you. So anyway, Pokemon Ultra Moon is disappointing. No, it's not. It's not disappointing because I knew what to expect. It met my lowered expectations. I didn't care for the original version, and honestly, I actually thought the original version the story was more interesting. They actually changed the end of the story in Ultra Sun and Moon, and I found it to be more generic. Like the original one, I was still bored the entire time with the story, and though I don't remember like everything about it, the new one did feel like it moved quicker, but the old one, I don't know, it just felt more inspired with how it, like the climax of the story was or whatever. It just felt more inspired. This was just another Legendary goes bad, you have to beat Legendary, you beat Legendary, you're good. And so, like, that was probably the only disappointment I had, was the fact that I actually found it worse than the original in some aspects. And the Ultra Wormholes thing that they added in, I thought was a lost opportunity. You've got different dimensions here, and you can do anything with that, but instead they did not really anything with that. Like, you can find other random Pokemon that aren't even in your Pokedex because they didn't even bother to put in a complete Pokedex into this game. So yes, you can catch Pokemon and there's no Pokedex entry, there's no number, there's no nothing. That really bothers me, and like for a game that is about collecting, I don't understand why they did that. And I'm hoping the Switch one that they announced they were doing, I'm hoping new Pokemon Switch kind of redeems my disappointment in the last few Pokemon games. Obviously keeping expectations low. But here's the thing. Like, okay, I complain a lot about it, but still, Pokemon itself is fun. Like, building a team, getting all that together. I had a lot of negative things to say, but I feel like Pokemon itself still fun, And I liked the location. I didn't necessarily like the level design, but I liked the tropical location. Best soundtrack in a very long time in a Pokemon game. So, I'd give it like a 7. I'd give it a 7. I'd be like, yeah, you can get it. You can get this game. And I didn't write this game. This game's a 6. Don't worry about it. Oh yeah, and that Mirror's Edge game I threw over there, that's a 4 out of 10. I like parts of it, but and you may not, you may be okay with the gun stuff, but I wasn't, so it's 4 out of 10. I think I rated everything. I'm new at this, so did I rate? I rated it, right? Whatever. Okay, now as I said before, so I guess I don't really have to say it again, but I will real quick. Games I'm currently playing through, this one, Mario and Rabbids. Again, fun, polished, Ubisoft, who knew. The other game I'm currently playing through, which I told you I was going to, and you didn't believe me, The Witcher. Ooh, and it opens. Ooh, there's a picture of the thing. Ooh. yeah, The Witcher. I like the game. I love the game, actually. It drags a bit. Yeah. I'm finally, like, past the draggy part. So I'm, it's all good. It's all good from here. But here's the thing. I hate PC gaming. And once I finish the game, I'll talk more about it and why I don't like PC gaming. So yeah, I'm currently playing through it, and I'm currently liking it. And like I said, I'll talk more about it once I beat it. But then this brings me to my second sequel that I added, which I forgot to grab, and I don't feel like getting up. The Witcher 2. But I don't know which version to play. I have it on PC. I actually got it for free a long time ago. I won a code. And I also have it on Xbox 360 because, I like the physical crap it comes with. I like the maps. I like game maps. Really like game maps. But, here's the thing. I hate PC gaming, but it lets you transfer in, it lets you import your saves, which from what I understand doesn't make a huge difference, but it's the little details that matter a lot in RPGs like this. So I'll probably try for the PC version, and if I just can't deal with it because it keeps crashing or it won't run or whatever, then I'll just move to the Xbox 360 one and deal with my story being ruined. But at least the PC version of 2 does have controller support, which matters to me. This is the longest I've ever played a game since I played EverQuest 10 years ago with a keyboard and mouse. So it's an interesting experience because it's totally different. It's not as bad as I thought it would be, but it's still not ideal for me, just because of the setup I have here. But it's I don't know. I'm not a fan of PC gaming, and I'll get into that later. So that is it, right? Am I missing anything? No, that is it. That is it for update video game challenge update number 1. It's all done. We're good. We're great. The list is working. I haven't. I've been going on eBay and I'm like, I don't need that game because I have games to play, with the exception of like 4 games, but don't worry about those. So if you have trouble like getting your games done, right, and you want to get them done, I highly recommend making a list. If you don't struggle with it and you have no idea what I'm talking about, then good for you. I don't care. But it's helped me out a lot because sometimes, you know what, Ham, sometimes you have to work for things that you like to do, and maybe not everyone can relate to this, but this is something I've always struggled with. Like even stuff I want to do, it just feels like work. But once you get going, it's fine, But sometimes I need to be pushed towards stuff. 3D. But it's this has been great because I beat 5 games in a month, and that's probably more than I finished in a long time. So I'm glad that this thing is actually working, and like I said before, I will make another one because I have plenty of games I can. So, I don't know if this will take me a whole year. It may, if I end early, then I'll just start another one. But I'm not, going to jump the gun here because even though I beat 5 in 1 month, I've got a lot of stuff coming up. So I'm sure it'll slow down eventually. But basically, just the moral of the story here is do what you like to do. You're not doing anybody else any favors by running yourself dry. You've got to. Did that make sense? Maybe I could have worded that differently. But anyway, the point is sometimes you need to refuel. And you know what it takes to do that for you. And you got to make sure that you do it. If you have to tell people, like, I'm busy this day, I'm doing nothing, because that's what I like to do, then you have got to do that. It's good for you to do things you like to do. It sounds obvious, but sometimes people forget to have fun. Sometimes people forget to have fun in their lives, and you got to remember fun. Got to remember it. So I think that's it. That's all I got. So just go away. Go play your games. Whatever. Go fishing. Whatever. Just do something. Life isn't forever. So have fun doing life. Okay. Alrighty. Good on time. Alrighty. Okay. Ooh. I'll be Toad this time. I don't want to be Toad. No, I changed my mind. Whatever. Okay. Oh, how dare you. Yeah. Oh, what? This game sucks.